Hello everyone, and peace of Christ all of you. Today we are going to show you a clear example how Muslims, when they try to debate with the Christians, how they are very selective and how they are dishonest. In the same time, with their dishonesty, we are always able to use their dishonesty against them to prove Islam to be false. One of you sent me this video, and this video speaking supposedly about Jesus. He agree with killing children. So let us hear a little bit, and I will show you how this man, who, all of them, they will not even dare to say hello to me. They're a bunch of cowards, and that's why they try to debate, young Christians, 20 years old, 19 years old. So he will say that Jesus, he agree with killing children. Let us see what he's talking about.
We do not believe that he's the best example for mankind. We believe that Christ was. Show me where Christ did anything that Moses done. Show me where Christ did anything that David done. Show me where Christ did anything that Muhammad did.
Okay, Christ agrees with killing of unruly children.
Where?
Matthew 5, 3 and 4.
Where?
Matthew 5, 3 and 4.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
Read it.
That's a parable.
Read it, it's not a parable.
That's a parable, bro.
Is that a parable? So we got two Christians here saying
It's
a
a
parable.
parable.
Okay, if I'm a liar, prove me from there.
Okay.
Remember that they both.
Okay, hold on. It's not a parable. No, this is what we are saying, that they debate people who they are not really well versed. They are just young kids. But what about you? You are 60 years old. You idiot, and you don't have a shame to lie. In that verse, when it's speaking about, let us go to the verse first and let us show everybody how those people, they have no dignity. This is Matthew chapter 15, and what the verses here is saying. He said 3 and 5. You can read it from verse number 1. It says here, but he answered and said to them, why do you also transgress the command of God by your tradition? For God commanded, saying, honor your father and your mother, and he cureth father or mother, let him die the death. This is what he is saying. This is about killing children. You are a stupid idiot. Where it says killing children here? I mean, if it says that, we will say it says that. It's not really a big deal. But why they lie? Saying things is not there. This have nothing to do with killing children. You see, even when the Bible used the word your children, the children who curse their parents, or the children who, as an example, in different chapter in the Bible is speaking about the one who do in Exodus. Let me find it. Exodus 21, I think. The children who strike or hit their parents. So those are punishment not for kids, even if it's sometimes it mentioned the word child, but you are a child if your father, even if you are 19 years old, even if you are 1,000 years old. So the dummy here, when he say this is about Jesus agreeing with killing children, proving to us again that he is a stupid fool like he's a prophet. And you can read any translation you wish. It doesn't matter really. So in order to put to death, you have to be a mature person, you have to be a man, a growing person, and you have to be able even to strike your father or your mother. You see, when you are a kid, the opposite will happen. Your parents can strike you. They can punish you for doing bad things. But I never heard of a kid, he can beat his parents. Physically, it's impossible. And if you do such a thing, as a kid, there is nowhere in the Bible it says a person who is a little boy, he will be punished for this. Even your stupid prophet, he says, رُفِعَ الْقَلَمُ عَنْ ثَلَاثٍ. The punishment, and he was copying the Jews. The punishment is lifted up from a tree. Okay, what kind of a tree those three are? The tree is the one who is, crazy, the one who is so young, the one who is maybe, he is not aware of what's happening. So even your city prophet, he agreed that a child, he have no penalty of what he do because he is not aware of doing that. And Muhammad always, he try his best to copy from the Jews and to go with them. And if you go in the whole Torah, you will never see anywhere it's mentioned that somebody was a man and he is in the age under 13. or even 14. Like I think in 14 and up, a person, he will be considered as a growing person, and he understand what is right and what's wrong. But to say in there that Jesus agreed with killing children, this is a child of his parents. Those are not children as kids. In the same time, as long as you mention this, this is a proof to us that the Quran cannot be from God. Why? Because if this is the Torah, and this is the book of God, and God, he is ordering that the one who disrespects his parents should be put to death. And that mentioned in the Bible in many places, which means this is an extreme order of God. There's no way God, he will tolerate such a thing. How come we cannot find such a thing in the Quran? In the Quran it says, don't say uff for them, like don't say I don't want to do this, you know. But there's no punishment in the Quran, neither a punishment in the Hadith of somebody beating or insulting their parents. In fact, your prophet, he did the opposite, and he insulted his parents. And based on the statement, if you're a prophet, he said, if we compare it to Matthew 15, your prophet, he is a very bad person, and he should put to death based on the Torah and based on the gospel too. As you see here, Jesus agreeing with it. But this is a child of his parents, not a child, he's a kid, 7 years old. I am a child of my parent, but I'm not a teenage. I'm not 10 years old. So fix your stupidity and try to think out of the box of Muhammad, which is nothing but testicles and penises and vagina and virgins and shish kebab in the heaven and hummus and barbecue birds. But if we go to what Muhammad, he said about his parents, you will see that Muhammad here proved to us that he cannot be following the same God of Moses, because the God of Moses, he have an extreme penalty for insulting parents, while Muhammad extremely, he insulted his parents. Muhammad, he used to go around and he say with no shame that those who don't believe in Allah are najis. And this is in the Quran. If you go in the Quran, you will find, and by the way, talking about the children, the white children, you will see the Quran, all of it call all the Jews Bani Israel, the children of Israel. But are they really children? This is your stupid understanding, because you are just a silly person who's trying to make a point out of nothing. Loser. So the Quran used the word children, and they are not the children, but because they are children of Israel. So after many generations, still the word children is used. But for naive like you, or man, I think you know what I'm talking about. You know that you are lying, but in order to make yourself like you know what you are talking about. But look what Muhammad did. Muhammad, when he said that al-mushrikuna najis, najis, okay, he just called his parents filthy. This is chapter 9, verse number 28. Muhammad, he said, the mushrikeen, the polytheists, the pagan, the idolaters, etc. And by the way, he is one of them. He is a polytheist, he is a pagan, he kisses black stones, and he bowed down to the 3 daughters of Allah, and he said their intercession is a must. So he is the one, he's talking about himself actually. And then those who don't believe in Allah, etc., they are najis. Najis means filthy, nothing can wash them. And those are the parents of Muhammad. This is why Muhammad, he says, my father and your father are going to go to hell. Why? Because Muhammad keeps saying that his father and his mother are filthy najis. Muhammad is born out of a najis woman. Muhammad is born out of a sperm of a filthy man. Muhammad saying that, not me. وَإِنَّمَا الْمُشْرِكُونَ نَجِسٌ. So here we notice that Muhammad cannot be a person who is coming from the same God, the God of Abraham, the God of Moses, and the teaching of Jesus. For Muhammad, he have no problem to insult his parents and to call them najis. Not only he said they will go to hell because they don't believe, and here I find it very funny, why they will go to hell if there is no messenger came to them. Isn't it the Quran says, I will not send anyone unless I send you a warner first? Who is the warner to them? If the Muhammad they say Abraham was there, we will laugh, because the Quran says clearly that Muhammad is the first warner, and no warner come before him to Mecca. And here you see that this dumb Muhammad, he say things which none of them make sense, and thank God he don't keep, you know, he never keep his mouth shut. And the more you know, the more he talk, the more he do poo-poo. As you see here in the Quran, it says it clearly, as an example, chapter 34, verse number 44, that we never sent we never gave them a book, and we never sent them before you any warner. And then the silly Muhammad, he says that Abraham was there, Ishmael was there, I mean everybody was there. And then we find that Muhammad saying he is the first warner ever who came to the Arabian Peninsula. He is the first warner who have a book, and they never have a book. Remember, Abraham have a book. According to the Quran, Abraham have a book. According to the stupid Quran, Abraham have a book. If you go in the Quran, you will say it says Suhafu Ibrahim wa Suhafu Musa. You know, so how you say Abraham was there and Abraham have books, and then we find that no warner came to them and no books was given to them. Chapter 87, verse number 19. This is why those kids, they try to debate only kids, because they can look shiny in front of kids, but in front of us, we will clean their shine with our shoes. We will make them more shiny, but with our shoes. The scriptures of Ibrahim and the scriptures of Moses. And by the way, translation of scriptures is not really correct, because it's a suhaf, which means it's written on a tablet, like the tablet of Moses. So here you notice how Muhammad, he get himself busted. In one hand, he claimed that he is a person who belonged to Ishmael, and Ishmael, he was in Mecca, and Ishmael was a messenger and was a prophet, and Abraham was there. And then he says in the Quran, no messenger before me came to them, and Allah told him that. In the same time, the Quran says clearly that Allah will not punish anyone unless he send a warner. So why the father of Muhammad and the mother of Muhammad, they will go to hell? What is the name of the messenger came to them? If you say Ibrahim, we just prove to you from this verse that Ibrahim was not there, and this was a fraud in the Quran. Because if Ibrahim was there, they have a warner before you. Not only Ibrahim, they have even the son of Abraham, supposedly Ishmael. So obviously, this is a stupid lie made by Muhammad, and this person, he keep contradicting himself. At the same time, I don't want to forget that when a Muslim speak about killing children, you know, when the Quran, as an example, talk about Al-Khadr killing a little boy, and we made a video about it not long time ago, you know, where he saw a little child, and this child, Allah, he made him kafir in order to slaughter him. A Muslim, he in the comment section, he said, Allah, he made this child a kafir, so Al-Khadr can teach Moses. It's like he's saying that Allah, he made this child a kafir, so Al-Khadr will slaughter him. It's like laboratory, you know, you go to school, and then they have a frog, and they cut the frog for you to show you where his heart, where is his belly, where is his stomach, where is his etc. So the stupid thing about the answer is they are saying to us that Allah, he respect no life of a human being, and he create people just for fun, and he order killing them just to teach somebody something. So here the hadith of Muhammad saying, and as you see, this is sahih, Allah, he created this little boy. From the second, he created him to be a disbeliever. But the verse in the Quran say clearly that this person did never commit sin yet. That's why Moses, he said to Al-Khadr, you are killing someone who is innocent. He did not do anything yet. And even verse number 80 says, when Al-Khadr, he answered, he says, for this boy, his parents were believers, and we feared he would oppress, he would in the future. Here you see that Islam is not only stupid, Islam is anti-justice, Islam is madness, there's a God who will make you disbeliever, and then he will send a Muslim to kill you because you are disbeliever. But it is him who made you disbeliever. And not only he will kill you when you disbelieve, he will kill you before you disbelieve. Which means before you commit your crime, if disbelieving is a crime. So when a Muhammadan, he go and he make a speech in Hyde Park, I say bark, not park. You are barking, my friend, and we are laughing at you. And in the same time, I have a question for you now, as long as you mentioned this. Where is the penalty of disrespecting parents in the Quran? Aren't you the one who talk about Muhammad that he followed the law of Moses? This is the law of Moses. How come Muhammad never mentioned anything about penalty? What is the penalty of rape in the law of Muhammad? Nothing. What is the punishment of beating your parents in the law of Muhammad? Nothing. Cursing your parents? Nothing. Insulting your parents? Nothing. Why? In the same time, we find that Muhammad himself was going around insulting his parents, calling them, you know, filthy, najis, dirty, garbage, you name it. And then we find that when the Quran says, وَإِنَّمَا الْمُشْرِكُونَ نَجِسٌ, as we showed you before, Muhammad, he confirmed that he is born of a filthy family. He's born of a filthy family, while the Quran confirmed that Jesus is pure and he was born from the pure Mary. So comparing what Muhammad described his parents with and how he described the mother of Jesus, you will see here Muhammad, he knew that he have no honor to be proud about. He knew that he is a son of a big pagan family, and he knew, as he called them himself, not me, he called them filthy, impure, najis. And if a Muslim, he says the word najis is not really that bad, what about you? Then you say to him, you are najis, and you will see his reaction. Just tell him you are najis. Let us see how much he will love it. So the word najis is an extreme insult to anyone. And as you see, Muhammad, he confirmed that his parents are, both of them, a bunch of filthy people. So Muhammad, he never respected his parents. Muhammad, he acknowledged his parents are filthy, and they are impure, and they are people of hell, and they are pagan, and acknowledged in the same time that Jesus himself, as we see in the Quran in chapter 19, verse number 19, where it says that Jesus is the Holy Son. And then we ask ourselves, what makes Jesus holy, and Holy Son of who? Is that because he is Holy Son of God? Otherwise, no holy save God. A person cannot be holy. A person nowhere to be close to be holy, unless he is someone special, that is God. So when the Quran come with this statement, and the statement is so clear about Jesus, we find that Jesus coming from a pure mother, the best of women between mankind, and then we find that Jesus, he is the Holy Son, and he is a gift of God. So you notice here the huge difference between the filthy Muhammad family and the holy family of Jesus, based on the Quran words. And the Holy Son is born of what? Holy what? Where is the holiness coming from? Remember, the Quran say clearly that Muhammad is a big-time sinner, and maybe Allah, even Allah, he says, may Allah forgive your sin, Muhammad, the sin in the future and the sin in the past. Now, the Muhammadan here, sometime in translation they say, they take the word sin, they say fault, but the fact in Arabic it says dhanb, and the word dhanb is so clear, it is sin. So even Muhammad, he himself acknowledged that he is a filthy person, that Allah may forgive his sin. And here it's very funny, if Allah is the one who's talking, how Allah, he says, may Allah forgive your sin. How stupid this statement is. If I am God and I am talking to say, may God forgive your sin, Muhammad, who are you then? Obviously, this is a verse made by Muhammad, and he knew how filthy he is, so he is wishing that the God, the true God, not Allah, he will forgive his sin before he sent him to hell and burn him for eternity. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope you have a good time. feel free to download the video, share it with your friends, and thank you very much. God bless you. Islam is false, as always, we prove it. And again, don't forget to leave your comment if you are a Muhammadan. We showed you that Muhammad was not, he was the first warner, came to the Arabian Peninsula, which means Abraham never came. We showed you that Muhammad don't follow the law of Moses, which is clearly says, if a man disrespect his parents, or even he did beat his parents, strike his parents, curse his parents, he surely put to death. Why we cannot find this law in the Quran? And why the Jews even, let us say for the sake of argument, the Jews, the Muhammadan, they might say, the Jews, they took this verse off. They add it later, you know. I mean, why they would add it later? This is something silly. I mean, this is stupid to say, right? It doesn't make sense. I mean, what does this have to do? Are they going to use it against Muhammad? But obviously, this is a true verse, exists in the Old Testament, generation after generation, carry on. And this is a law which is practiced. And Muhammad, he never mentioned such a thing. You know, all what the Quran says, that don't, like let us say, don't be rude. That's it. Don't be rude. Where is the punishment to death? Where is the solution if somebody beat his mother or his father? Don't say to them, oof. That's it. This is Allah order. So what happened? What happened to the law of Moses? Huh? There's no punishment. Say to them good words, right? And you see here Muhammad, he is the first one who break it. He called his parents najis, filthy, and he says he was walking around in the street saying, my father and your father in the hellfire. Why Muhammad? Because his father is filthy, as Muhammad described. From their mouth, we get them guilty. Thank you. God bless you, and see you soon again. Take care. Bye-bye.